Hello and good afternoon to day one of the European Championships in Osijek. We are live for you here for the next final. We've had an exciting day so far and we're halfway through and about to get underway with the 10-metre air pistol women junior final. Thank you very much for joining us wherever you are watching around the world. And I say that because there were viewers in Nevada, in New York State, earlier on this morning, so who knows where you are. Do let us know in the comment section if you're watching on YouTube or on Facebook. So there's our schedule for the rest of the day. Next event, air pistol women junior, and then we'll culminate today with the final event, the air pistol men junior. That's at 4:30 local time here in Croatia. Thank you very much for joining us. My name is Rory McAllister. I'll be your commentator. Really good to have your company once again for these European Championships. Do show your support, like and subscribe to the channel, and therefore you get every update we can possibly give you from the European Shooting Confederation. Well, always nice to realise when you are on the TV. I don't have any poppers though for my mouth. Right, here's our QR codes. They're on screen long enough for you to grab your mobile phone and get your camera and scan the QR codes in order to follow us on Instagram and on Facebook. So the audience applauding for the coaches who are coming in to take their seats. And something tells me there's going to be quite a lot of noise throughout this final as well. What do you call those things as well? Those things that you whack together that make so much noise. My little boy Hugo, he's only 16 months old. He'd absolutely love some of those. Although I don't think perhaps giving those sound whackers to a 16-month-old baby is probably a good idea. I think you might just leave them here in the crowd here in Osijek. So there's the entrance. They come out onto the European stage. This isn't your average sports hall. It's a big step up as well for some of these junior athletes. Some of them are used to the big stage, some not so. And that's all part and parcel of moving forward in the world of shooting. You come to a huge competition like this, where you're shooting against the best of the European junior shooters. So the first athlete to come out, independent neutral athlete, Alexandra Pietrova. She's on firing point H, and now being applauded, representing the home nation of Croatia, Anna Čukučić. And she was the champion of Europe 2 years ago in Tallinn in this very event. Next to arrive, another independent neutral athlete. This is Anna Palminova. Now 20 years old, so not long left now in the junior ranks. So Mariam Abramishvili representing Georgia is next. Very experienced, 20 years old. A two-time bronze medalist at the European Championships in the team events. And a bronze medalist from the ISSF Grand Prix as a junior. And lots of noise from the Polish supporters for Weronika Krajewska, 18 years old. So Elise Darveski representing Latvia, 16 years old and the youngest athlete in this final. Gold medalist at the European Championships over 25 metres. That was in Osijek last summer. I remember being the commentator on that day. So will it be another medal for Alicia today? Well, we'll find out pretty quick. Next to arrive, second athlete from Georgia, Mariam Masharova, 19 years old. 2 times a bronze medalist at the Grand Prix. And final athlete to be introduced. Big smiles and a wave and lots of noise from the crowd as well for Eliada Norshukuk. She's now 20 years old. Silver medalist at the European Championships in the team women junior. That was in Osijek 3 years ago. Here's Violeta Kotnia, who's the jury member in charge representing Poland. Spent many years in Canada, which Violeta said really improved her English, and she's got some great stories from her days out in Canada as well. We shared dinner last night and had a great chat. And Petar Plavšić of Croatia, once again the man with the microphone, back once again like a renegade master. He is our chief range officer. So that's how it finished in qualification earlier today. Some high scores, 5.75, topped it out for Abramishvili. And that's how they line up from firing points A right down to H. So 2 independent neutral athletes in this one, 2 from Georgia, 1 athlete from Poland, 1 from the home nation of Croatia. Latvia and Turkey also represented. So do leave your comments of support, either if you're watching on YouTube. There's also the live chat on there as well, that you can make your comments and get involved. So that's the beginning of the 5 minutes of preparation and sighting time. You can subscribe and like the channel on the European Shooting Confederation video stream. That's on YouTube. And you can join us on Facebook as well. So exciting announcement yesterday as well from the president, Mr. Alexander Ratner, about the Olympic Youth Festival, which I'll tell you about in a couple of minutes. That's coming up in 2027. First of all, a closer look at the lineup. On firing point A, representing Turkey, here is Eliada Norshukuk. There's that silver medal here in Osijek 4 years ago. I think I even said 3 years ago earlier. Sometimes forget it's 2025 already. That silver medal was in the air pistol team women junior. And away from Murat Organ. So next on firing point B, Mariami Masharova of Georgia, bronze medalist at the ISF Grand Prix. And took 2 bronzes at that particular tournament. Seemed pretty relaxed earlier when I had a chat with her before the final. And looking incredibly still and focused. And Nino Salivadze is the coach. There's always lots of smiles, I think, when the Georgian team are around. So Elisa Darvarska of Latvia, 16 years old, by far and away the youngest competitor in this final. Gold medalist at the European Championships. That was in the 25 metres last year in Osijek, and also competed at the European Championships in Hungary last year. And just to say, Siegfried Markanis is going to be Elisa Darvarska of Latvia's coach. So next on the firing point D, that's Veronika Krajewska. And this is her coach, which is Beata Bartkov-Vetboska. Just looking at some of Veronika's achievements. this will certainly be the biggest one if she takes a medal here today. Now, second athlete from Georgia. This is Mariam Ambrishvili, 20 years old now. 2 bronze medals at the European Championships in team events. A silver medalist in the mixed team junior in Granada last year. And Meji Kadakachi is the coach. And this is Anna Palminova, now 20 years old. And Natalia Kotroshina is the coach. Now next up on firing point G, representing the home nation of Croatia, this is Ana Čekučić. Where's that gold medal from the European Championships? The former European champion in the junior competition 2 years ago in Tallinn. Again, I was there myself that day, commentator on the day. An incredible achievement. And this is Sanisha Vitaja, who's the coach. And finally, to complete the lineup, as we hear the 30-second reminder from the Chief Range Officer on firing point H, this is Alexandra Pietrova. And in the background, that's Ivan Nitrovic, who's the coach. And Alexandra took the silver medal in the World Championships in Lima. That was in the air pistol women junior. She also competed at the Paris Olympic Games as well. And is no stranger to gold medals here in Osijek. European Championships 2021 in the 10-metre air pistol mixed team junior. So there's certainly a real high standard, a high calibre of athletes in this final, as we're about to get underway now with the 10-metre air pistol women junior. And just a reminder of the equal record. So 4 minutes 10 is on the clock. And that's what's allowed for this first series of 5 shots. And then we have a second series of 5 shots to take us to 10 shots in total. And then we move to the individual shots, which is where the eliminations start after shot 12. And then every 2 shots after that until we get down to deciding the medals. The 10 ring is only 11.5 millimetres wide over a distance of 10 metres. 10.9, therefore, is the highest individual shot. And you'll see the athletes here just going through the motions as well, concentrating so much on many things at once. That is the real skill of shooting. It just looks as if there's a pistol being raised and aimed and fired, but with these open sights pistols, it's all about trying to go through your rhythm, making sure your balance is as good as it can be, your breathing is under control, and your posture is where it should be, and everything you've been doing in training and then in qualifying to get to the final. You need to bring all of that to the final. And that's just the physical side. Then there's the mental concentration. And add all of those things together. Then you've got to hit high scores. And they say shooting is easy. It's definitely not. So Marsha completed her first series of 5. Still with well over a minute left on the clock. That completes the first series of 5 then. Let's take a look at the scoreboard and see what's been happening over the last 5 shots. Another series of 5 shots still to come. Now, if you've got a score up near 50, that's where you'd hope to be up with the leaders. And the leading score, 49.7, a 0.2 gap between the top 2. And some of those other differences as well. Fairly close in places. Down in 5th and 6th, 0.3 and 0.2. There's that gap of 0.7 already between 4th and the top 3. Well, if you're watching on Facebook or on YouTube, thanks very much for doing so and getting involved. Thanks for joining in on the live chat as well on YouTube. Mesh Pro, good luck to all finalists. That's a very nice thing to say. Giovanna as well, has also been in touch. And Aniko. And I think that's pronounced Pajo Patik. Now, one of the things, of course, about the live chat is it's the live chat. It's only there when you're watching the final live. If you're watching this back at a later time, then hello to you as well. So over this next series of 5 shots, the athletes will be looking to try and get to near a total of 100. And some of these athletes are already decorated with medals. They've been here on the European stage before. They know what it's like under the lights, under the pressure. For some, it's the first time. You can see the multi-tool out on the table, just making those adjustments. Try and get those open sights lined up. And then there's that nanosecond of time, even smaller than a split second, where your brain makes the decision, now is the time to shoot. And then the electronic scoreboard tells you whether or not that was the right time or not. Well, once again, Marshava is the first to complete the second series of 5. So Chief Range Officer calls stop. And now we'll see who's close to 100 or the closest. So exciting for the home nation of Croatia. Georgia were top. And Croatia at least have an athlete in this final, currently in 6th place. Meanwhile, it's Çoruk of Turkey who now leads 98.9, a gap of 0.8, which is fairly sizable in the world of pistol shooting over this distance of 10 metres. So now we move into the single shots, and the first elimination will be after shot 12. And I did promise you earlier, I'll tell you about the announcement yesterday that we had from Mr. Ratner, the president, is that shooting will be included in the next European Youth Olympic Festival, which is very exciting and really shines a light on the promising world of Youth Olympics and athletes like the ones you're watching being able to compete in youth and junior competitions. Because these are the stars of now and they are the stars of the future. So next European Youth Olympic Festival is 2027, just in case you were wondering. The next one after that is 2029 and every 2 years thereafter. So first elimination stage. And Valiska at the moment, real pressure. 0.5 behind, so she can close the gap. There was a 1.5 gap between 7th and 6th, but someone has to go unless there is a shoot-off. So we now have our first elimination, and representing Latvia, the youngest athlete in this final at 16 years old. Well, she's done very well to get to the final. Waves to the crowd, I think, will be disappointed. Naturally, of course, you would be. But Alicia Darviška of Latvia now leaves the competition in 8th place. And that's Siegfried Markinis, her coach, just clearly trying to clear something up, or perhaps something to take on to another competition and another final. So that's shot 13. So we've got one more shot now until shot 14, and then that decides 7th place. So Čukušić of Croatia, currently in 7th place, only 0.2 behind. This could change. And there's a shoot-off. There is a tie. So now Čukušić of Croatia in front of her home crowd on home soil, up against Pelnova in this shoot-off. So these commands from the Chief Range Officer are just for those two athletes. The next 50 seconds, which is already ticking, decides who stays and who goes. .5 from Pelnova, which was a decent shot. I think even she looked to think, well, that should be enough to save me, and it has done in this instance. Now with a 9.8, Anna Čuković, well, big crowd and big cheer from the Croatians. They've gathered here to support this wonderful athlete, and Anna takes her seat to watch the rest of this final. So we march on. Just keep an eye on that gap of 3.5 between 6th and 5th. It's looking likely over the next 2 shots that Palneva could go, but you just never know. So that was shot 15. If you are just joining us, this is the final of the 10-metre air pistol women junior, live from the European Championships over 10 metres in Osijek in Croatia.
For the next competition shot, load. Start.
And Palneva, independent neutral athlete, in 6th place, finishes on a total of 150.7. Was involved in that shoot-off a few moments ago, was 3.5 behind going into that last elimination phase, and now leaves the final in 6th place. So that's how it stood a few minutes ago. Now we're 2 more shots on after 16 shots. Poland in front, a gap of 0.8 and a gap of 0.9 between 3rd and 2nd. Well, Turkey Egg certainly here to make some noise.
Currently in the 5th place and facing elimination after the next shot is Marsha from Georgia. We have a change on the scoreboard in the first 3 places.
So 17 shots now into this final. This next shot is shot 18 for 5th place.
For the next competition shot, load. Start.
So Marsha of Georgia there with a 10.4. He certainly was quick out the blocks earlier on in this final. First to complete each of the 5-shot series. And she's now leaving this final total of 172.2. And Marsha, 19 years old, is 5th, and clearly already never seen someone laugh so much after finishing 5th. As I said earlier, when the Georgians are around, there's always smiles and always laughs. So down to the final 4. Someone has to finish outside of the medals. 3 other athletes will get gold, silver and bronze. The crowd are loving this one. I'm sure you are too, watching at home or wherever you are. I mean, these days you just watch on your phone, so you could be anywhere.
For the next competition shot, load.
Interesting final, interesting scoreboard. Croatia, Poland. was leading this competition at one point, has slipped down to 4th and is now 1.4 behind 3rd place. Meanwhile, Turkey going mad for the 10.7 from Çoruk. And now 4th place is decided, and the look of disappointment, so hard, so cruel to finish in 4th, just off the podium, outside of the medals, and was leading the competition at one point, but 19-year-old Weronika Krajewska of Poland will now take her seat to watch the rest of this final. Çoruk of Turkey now has that lead of 1.1. That's a big gap. 0.5 between 3rd and 2nd. Is that the way it'll finish with gold, silver, bronze? We will find out. No time to waste though. This final moves on. You see the look of determination, just gripping the handle of that pistol. Those grips all moulded individually to each athlete's hand, just for that extra bit of stability. But it's the sweat and perspiration you must try and keep to a minimum. Try and keep your hands dry. I mean, the conditions in the finals hall here are pretty good, so there's not too much of that going on today, and the weather outside is pretty cold as well. There is a 0.5 gap between bronze and silver in those positions as it stands at the moment. And that's another score in the 10s for Çoruk. Murat Orgun claps along. Meanwhile, now attention on the bronze medalist. And Georgia have their first medal of this European Championships, and it's bronze. And it's high fives all round. Abramishvili taking the bronze. Final total of 212.1. So Pietrova versus Çoruk, a 1.2 gap, 10.4 from Pietrova, so that's going to close that gap to 0.8, if my calculations are correct. Çoruk just snuck into the 9 ring, just at the top of the 9s with a 9.9. There's the technical delegate, that's Ghislaine Briers of France, talking to Mr. Alexander Ratner, who is the president of the European Shooting Confederation. So actually, no, my calculations earlier on, that 1.2 was already in place, so that was the actual difference going into that final shot. And it's decided, gold medal, it's going to Turkey, and Murat Orgun, the coach, just looked confident from the very beginning. Meanwhile, the Turkey supporters go absolutely crazy for Ilayda Nur Çoruk, and big waves to the camera as well. What a performance. Silver medalist at the European Championships in the air pistol team women junior in Osijek. That was 4 years ago, and now is a gold medalist in her own right in the individual event over the 10-metre air pistol women junior. Meanwhile, for Pietrova, an independent neutral athlete, it's a silver medal, and Georgia with Amrashvili took the bronze. Now, pretty of a dominant finish there in the end. The gap was 1.2. Just going into that penultimate shot, I think I've just looked at the calculations too late and thought the gap was 1.2 and reduced by 0.4, but actually it was the other way round. It was a 1.2 gap increased. And it finished with a 1.8 gap in the end between gold and silver. So that's Violeta Kotliwa of Poland, jury member in charge, just getting the athletes in the right order. So there it is confirmed, Georgia with the bronze, Pietrova with the silver, and Churuk, big cheers, steps forward, big waves. And Turkey have a gold medal at the European Championships. What a great final. There's another one still to come. That's the 10-metre air pistol men junior. In a few moments, we'll bring some highlights for you if you have joined us late in this final, but that's how it finished. Amnishvili of Georgia with the bronze, Pietrova with the silver medal, and Ilaida Nur Churuk of Turkey with the gold. What a final, that's how it finished. Turkey have their first medal of this European Championships here in Osijek. Now here's our schedule, we've still got another event to come for you. 4:30 local European time, the air pistol men junior. Join us live on YouTube or Facebook. We'll catch you later on today. Bye for now.